I'm Stephen Hill, JustMyPicks.com, and I'm going to be bringing you the 2012-2013 AFC South prediction show. We have a lot to get to in this AFC South, so I'm going to jump right in. Pretty much this offseason, Peyton Manning left the Colts via free agency, and pretty much it's one of those things where this is an up for grabs AFC South. We're going to be bringing you who's going to win the division and who's going to make the playoffs and who's not. I'm going to start in Tennessee. Tennessee Titans leave me a lot to be desired. Chris Johnson, can he get back to CJ2K that he used to be 2 years ago before he got his big contract? And are the Tennessee Titans hungry to make the playoffs? I don't think either of those are going to bounce back this year. I think Chris Johnson bit off a little bit more than he could chew with that contract, and it also reflects in his play. Also, Kevin Mawae retiring a couple of years ago really affects how that Tennessee Titans anchor their offensive line. They do have Kenny Britt, but he's a bit of a troublehead, and pretty much it's a lot of things going on in Tennessee. The team, for some reason, just doesn't excite me like it used to 2 years ago. They do have Jake Lockhart, the good Washington quarterback that they drafted a year ago. But I need to see him start. I need to see him producing on the field, and I actually need to see something coming out of him besides a couple of out routes and a couple of dink and dunk passes. Next, we're going to go to Jacksonville. Jacksonville Jaguars are in a bad situation. They have one of the best running backs, Maurice Jones-Drew, in the league, and they pissed him off. Pay that man his money. Time and time again last year, he carried the football. He was almost 50% of your offense. Now, they don't have too many more weapons. They drafted a young wide receiver in Justin Blackman, but I don't think he's going to be the answer for the long term for what this team needs. Maurice Jones-Drew has basically played out his rookie contract, and he's basically making little to nothing, playing at a very high level. Just pay the man. I like Blaine Gabbert as a quarterback. A lot of people say that he's a bust, but I think that he didn't have the adequate time in training camp. Last year he was coming off a lockout, and David Garrard got cut, so it was so many things that he had to learn on the fly, and you got Jack Del Rio being fired and all those other things. I'm just hoping that Maurice Jones-Drew gets back in camp and helps these guys out, and because they have a lot of talent on that roster, but once again, I'm picking up not to make the playoffs in the third spot. Next, we're going to go to Indianapolis. Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck is in a difficult situation because he's coming right behind an icon in Peyton Manning. Basically, Peyton Manning built that city, built that stadium, won that Super Bowl for them. The greatest quarterback to ever play the game of football is Peyton Manning. Let's face it, he's a machine. He is liberal. He does all the things you want a quarterback to do. And he also has the respect of not only his teammates, but the defenses and the NFL. It goes to show you what happens when you can have Tom Brady miss a season when he tore his ACL, and they still went, I believe, 11-5, 11-4, something like that. But when Peyton Manning misses the season and your team is basically obliterated, that's when you know what thing the quarterback is, what he means to your team. Last year, the Indianapolis Colts were a former shell of themselves, winning only 2 or 3 games. So I'm looking for the Indianapolis Colts to at least bounce back, not to make the playoffs, but be respectable. I'm looking for them to have 5 or 6 wins on this season. I think that with that pass game that they have and that new coaching system, they'll sneak up on 1 or 2 teams this year that think that they have an automatic win facing Indianapolis. And also, I like to see Andrew Luck and that tight end that he had from his team in Stanford. I like to see them go and do like a Dallas Clark Peyton Manning thing and feed off each other. You still have Reggie Wayne there. You still have Mathis. And you still have Dwight Freeney there on defense. So the sky's the limit for these guys. I know their roster took a complete overhaul, but they do have what it takes to at least be respectable more than they were last year and not have 4 or 5 quarterbacks going in and out. And the team that I'm picking to not only win this division, but be the only team from this division to make the playoffs, the Houston Texans. Arian Foster, Ben Tate, Andre Johnson, Matt Schwab, they have the ingredients to go to the Super Bowl. It's just they have to stay healthy. For some reason or not, Matt Schwab every year has some type of freak accident injury, and it seems to be holding the Texans back. Even though they had the little rookie that came in last year and helped them out, it's not going to be that if you need to win the Super Bowl. You need to have all your guys healthy. And I know during a 16-game season, you have injuries, little nicks and knacks. But come on, guys, for God's sakes, it can't happen every single year. The Texans, I like what they did last year, not only getting to the playoffs, but pushing the Baltimore Ravens to the brink in that game. But I want to see them come out and start hot and stay hot the whole season. I know that Andre Johnson is injury prone. To me, he keeps lowering himself lower and lower and lower on the elite wide receiver chart because he can't stay healthy and stay productive like Calvin Johnson or Larry Fitzgerald. It's just one of those things where I think that the Houston Texans can take that big step. Now that Peyton Manning is no longer in the AFC South, this is their division for the taking year after year after year until somebody steps up and tries to basically take the title from them. And pretty much I'm picking them not only to do that, but go deep into the playoffs this year. This has been a Just My Picks 2012-2013 video for the NFL, my prediction show. You can check us out on YouTube/Just My Picks. You can also check me out on Twitter @Just My Picks. Also, when you go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Leave me comments, leave me posts, and let me know what you think about this video and all my other videos and what you would like to see on future videos. Thank you very much.